Hear ye, people of Erstwhile. Hearken and take heed. We shall never forget that which happened on the 16th of Hammer, 1375 DR. Ugg the fool pushed damsel Bianca off the cliff, a woman with child. I saw that with my eye of eyes. Those who dare defend him are doomed. The gore-bellied beast deserved the glaive of the guard, such Omar, in his wisdom, deemed to be true. Thereupon I say unto you, orcs and humans should never mingle. Will wanted to drink away his feeling of wretchedness and misery that night, of being forced to mingle with Orkind and seeing the consequences of it firsthand. At least the sign outside the tavern read, "Greenskins not served here." Good. That's exactly the kind of sentiments Wilhelm related to at the moment. Damned be all the orc bloods in this town of convicts. Will saw two people who were also at execution. He greeted them and they exchanged names. But then, as he heard their voices and looked carefully at them, he realized they were a part of the group who defended Ugg the murderer. "I've seen you," Will said. "You were at the execution of the Orkind. You spoke on his behalf." "I did, Wilhelm," said Gwen. "I didn't think it was smart," said Will. The mood immediately changed. "I don't think you're that smart walking in here and talking to me," said Gwen. "Bugger off, lad," said Krask. "Don't need your advice." Will looked at them with disgust. "There is a reason the sign outside this tavern exists." "Yeah, it should have another sign outside," said Gwen. "One that says you're not allowed to come in here if you're a piece of shit." Krask got into Will's face. "You and me, we could have been good friends. It's a shame you choose to take orcs into your heart. They're not worth it, and soon this city will be cleansed of them." "I hope an orc kicks your teeth in," said Gwen. "An orc kicking a human? That'll cost him. Perhaps another execution." "Gwen, he's enjoying this." "Stop." Krask looked at Will. "Just take your leave, lad." "No, I did not come here starting a fight. I came here for a bloody drink. Perhaps you should leave." "I don't care what you came here to do. You made up your mind to start a fight the second you walked in." Gwen, clearly drunk, stumbled over to Will. "Go on, hit me, you bastard." "I'll never hit a lady," said Will. "Well, that'll be your mistake," said Gwen, "because if something else doesn't get you, I will," whispered Gwen at Will's ear, and the two left the tavern. The next day, Will was starving. Food was expensive, and he needed to find a decent job. Mining granite wasn't cutting it. Will's only friend was Brokath, who told him he could help him get a job scrubbing the docks. But Brokath was nowhere to be seen lately, and unfortunately, news was broken to Will that Brokath died. Needing new friends, Will found one in perhaps an unlikely source, a half-elf named Janvalor. After traveling together in the sewers looking for Vividium, an experience which was not at all pleasant to poor Will, Janvalor and his companion told Will of the Lodge, a guild of hunters. To get the job, Will first needed to find Gannon, the leader of the lodge. Gannon wasn't really convinced that Will is a good fit. "If it is bloodlust you seek, a hunter in my fold is not the type of work for ye." "This is not the bloodlust that I seek," said Will, "but a work that honors the man that I am, a fighter, a defender of the people, not a common cobblestone scrub monkey. And if I ask you to chop firewood?" Will rolled his shoulders, took a step back and pretended he was hacking firewood. "Yeah." Gannon seemed to enjoy that and told Will that he'd spoken of himself well, but that he must prove his words with actions, and gave him a hunting task: hunt 3 deers and skin them for hides. Yet at the same time, Will also heard they're recruiting guards from his new friend Jorai. "I was given a job and a rank last night from the Madam Constable Durpik," said Jorai, and led Will to the recruiting constable, Yona Durpik, a dwarf. She told him to survive for 3 days. Will, confused, asserted that he survived a lot longer on the island than 3 days. "Let me reiterate, this is the first we met. Survive 3 days from now and we will talk." In addition, she reminded him that no convict can bear witness to anything officially, so his words are mostly moot. Will didn't like her much, so he was conflicted. With the Hunters Guild, even though he didn't get the whole balance of nature philosophy, Gannon seemed like an honorable man that Will could respect. Yet a city guard was more fitting for him. But that Constable Durpik sure seemed like a piece of work, he thought. The way she kept referring to him as a convict, the fact she sighed when he asked to enlist, the way she kept questioning him about the nature of his former life and crimes. Will didn't appreciate any of that. Gannon, on the other hand, took Will for what he is, not for what he was, and gave him a test to prove his mettle. That Will appreciated. Will didn't have a lot of time to decide. He was starving, and without a job he wouldn't survive long. He decided to try the Hunters Guild and completed the task that Gannon gave him, to get him 3 deer hides, which Will successfully completed. But as soon as Will learned that there are orcs within the lodge, he declined to join, giving Gannon a piece of his mind of what he thought would happen if orcs would continue to live amongst them. At least he still had the guard job secured, or so he thought. "Me not be taking any more enforcers on currently," told him the constable when he met her the second time. "I waited for 3 days and more, "You can have a bit of repayment for wait," she said, and gave him a pinprick of Evidium. Will was getting to a dark place. He wasn't sure who he hated more, Gwen, the constable, or this scoundrel called Telfer that nearly led him to his death one time. After Telfer called Wilhelm a coward, Wilhelm challenged him to a duel to the death, but instead they settled for a fistfight. Wilhelm eagerly waited for this fight, but he got punched out. Bruised and battered, without a job, without food, and with many enemies, Will wandered around at night. He thought to himself, "No one must be more miserable and lowly than me," until he met this one convict. "Oi lad, you have a kind face," said a man sitting by the docks. "Do I now? Why is it that you sit here thusly? Worn out from work in the mines? Sir, I tell you, I am not well enough to walk, my lord. Sick and hungry, my lord. Me bones ache. D'ye spare a coin? This be a blight that in this here city the weak are not tended to. Sir, I beg you." "I have little, but I can spare some for those who suffer," said Will. Will gave the man a few coins. "You are a saint, sir, and God himself." "Thank you, sire, for your grace. I've been hearing different words spoken at me lately. I am no such, but I hope you will manage to get on your feet, good man. Bless you, lad. Tell me, my lord, why would one say such things about ye? A pity, my lord. Because I spoke against an orc breed that pushed a lady with a child in front of my eyes to her death. Terrible, my lord. An orc breed has no place among good folk. The orc was foul and was executed rightly. My lord, I cannot walk, for my ailments prevent me from doing so. But if I can help save your good name, I'll do so for a small amount of coin. A beggar like myself can learn things, my lord. Can even say things for the right coin, my lord. Your heart's in a good place, my good man, but I need no one to speak for me. They hate me for my dislike of orcs. That can never be changed, no matter what is spoken of me." "Aye, my lord, who would speak out against ye?" "One lady by the name of Gwen, even threatened to kill me. A foul lass indeed. She is. She would even have me hit her. From whatever reason she wanted to test me. I told her I never hit a lady, even one with such inept opinions as hers. Aye, sir, aye." Will had met Skag on and off, and it made him feel better about himself, that maybe things aren't as bad. But then Will heard the news. Skag died. Will took it hard. All his friends were dying. Dejected, still jobless, still hungry, he was beginning to feel like Skag himself, turning into that which he pitied. Starving in the streets, Wilhelm became a beggar himself. It was just about that moment that Walby, the halfling owner of an underground entertainment establishment called the Saldiscon Pit, noticed Will's suffering. Walby knew Wilhelm from before. They had been out and about finding Vividium together. So Walby, a halfling of many resources, offered Will a job as a mason for his establishment renovation. This is when things truly began to turn around for Wilhelm.
There's a land that's lost in time, where a man's life is worth half a dime. The good ship brings them Vix at night to feed the island's lust for fight. Down in Saldiscon Pits it's there, bladed big silk spart so fair. Walby's cow that night was seen, and bigger than she'd ever been. Called by the music to the bottom of the pit, with the cow and the capers and the small dog squealing, a cloak in the fuddle and the huddle by the griddle, and the slip in the puddle and the big stone milking. Downsides went up, hey, outsides went wide, as the fiddle played a twiddle and the mill tasted like freedom. Upsides went west, hey, broadsides went boom, with the twiddle on the fiddle in the middle by the griddle, and the mill tasted like freedom. Found a spoon and gaily danced. Horses neighed and jumped the pits, for the bloodshot pit has lost his dip. While cow jumped over, dog barked wild, quickly thrown and sweetly smiled. Walby cried, play fast apart, because we all want to dance like that. Gamble and filter till your heart and hatter and spin all the kimber like a windmill flailing. Whirl with the clatter till we scatter every cutter with the strings not a ping, and the pigs start milking. Downsides go up, hey, outsides go wild. Platter with your platter, but the mill tasted like freedom. Upsides go west, hey, broadsides go boom. With a platter and a clatter, you can shatter at the platter, but the mill tasted like freedom. like freedom. Outside, go west, hey, outside, go blue. To the better and the cleanser, you can shelter and be blended with the milk. Tasted like freedom.
Yet, everything changed once again for Wilhelm when he found himself in an expedition to a place called Gunark.